What is the difference between plant-based and vegan?
When I say I'm a plant-based, I just want plant. I don't want your lab-grown meat, beef, or anything. I don't eat it. I just can't eat.
I get this criticism quite a bit that sustainability, climate change, environmentalism, veganism is not for India.
The people who said this should wake up. When disasters comes knocking, only the fools will be laughing.
Where do you build this spice tolerance from?
People.
Louder, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
That's how the world will feel when the climate change hits.
How do we get the millionaires, billionaires, the 1%, 2%, 3% of India to care about this?
They won't care about it. They have the money, they don't need to care about it. The people who do not have money, they care about things. The people who have money, they just throw money and make people care about them.
How do we flip this narrative?
Put a carbon tax.
You think that's going to solve everything?
That's the only way to do it. You can't really sit with them and convince them that, okay, you have worked hard or you have cheated, whatever you did, you made money. Now don't spend it.
Hi Aakash, welcome to another episode of Sustainability with Shreya. I've known you for a while and I know you're an incredible climate change activist. You're an author, you're vegan, you're a documentary filmmaker, you live a nomadic lifestyle and a minimalist lifestyle at the same time. Also, Aakash Ranison. Tell me about the last name.
The idea is very simple. Your name is your identity, and I just love clarity in life as much as I can get. I was cycling from Chennai to Bangalore in 2015, and I love music. I was listening to it, but then I felt like, okay, I want to talk to myself, which I also love doing. So then I asked myself a few questions, inspired by two people, one person majorly, Simon Sinek. Why? So I asked myself, what's your name and why it is whatever it is? So earlier my name was Aakash Mishra. Okay. I could answer Aakash, confident, open sky, do whatever you want, no limit. But then I was like, okay, what's your second name? Mishra. Where does it come from? Father's family, religion. It defines your caste and community, tells you what to do, what not to do, what to eat, what not to eat. And also that it comes from father family. And my father hasn't been there in my life. Like when we were in 7th class, me and my mom left him. We got separated. And then she's the one who took care of everything. And even while he was there, he didn't really play the good role of a father. He eventually messed things around.
What do you mean by that?
Domestic violence or not having the understanding of how to use the money or how to earn it, and if you earn it, how to really sustain it, and all those things. What a father should be playing a role in the family, taking care of the family. So
he wasn't really present as a father figure in your life?
Not really. He would really absent over there. Fights would happen, then he would leave us, and then we would be just on our self, me and my mom, and a lot of problems were there. So then we decided to just let go of that hope that this thing might work out, trying to get back to it again and again. So this was the last time, 7th class when I was in, we left him. So I was like, doesn't make sense. Why do I have this surname, right?
That belongs to him. That's part of his identity.
Exactly. And also, not really I hate him or anything. It's just I don't align with things. Hate is such a strong word to say. So I don't really hate him or anything about him, but it's just no, I don't align with it. Also it's my name. I should have the real name, which what I really deserve. And also that religion, I really love Hinduism. It's an amazing religion, amazing institution. If somebody follows it, they can really learn a hell lot of things from it and really lead a very happy and healthy life, right? Even a sustainable one. But then I'm like, hey, I'm not a good student of this institution.
Why not?
Because I don't follow things. I don't really wear the kind of clothes I should be wearing. I do not sleep at a time, do not wake up at a time, do not really follow the diets which is suggested in it.
What is prescribed in Hinduism that you think?
As much as I feel that okay, they do support milk, I don't really feel like doing it, right? And then another one is they suggest a lot of things, a certain different type of studies, education, which I haven't really done, right? So there are a lot of practices which are suggested in Hinduism, which are very nice. And I know few of them, but I don't follow them.
Let's go back to milk. Why do you say you don't subscribe to the idea of consuming milk that Hinduism promotes?
That came because of climate change. I was reading about climate change. I found that, okay, this is not right, whatever is happening to the environment, and I should not do it. And I'm like, okay, cool. If I have to fix climate change, what is it that I can do? Tell me. And one of the biggest thing I could do was to stop eating dairy product. I'm like, cool, I won't eat it. From then on, that second, I became a vegan.
What's the connection between not consuming dairy and climate change?
Methane emissions. So we have all talked about / heard about carbon emissions, but then people don't really talk about methane emissions, which is the higher in terms of carbon. Yes, the percentage if we see, so we would say that okay, it's lower than carbon in overall greenhouse gas emissions. But then if you look at the thickness of the molecule of methane versus carbon, it's 3 times thicker, right? So even if it's lower in number, let's say, for example, just giving a rough number, if carbon emissions is 10%, or then you would say that, okay, methane emission is just 5%. So it's half of it. But still, now it's 15 because it's 3 times thicker than the molecule of carbon. So people don't really understand that behind side of these molecules,
the science behind
right?
it. Yeah.
So when these molecules out there in the layer, atmospheric layer, it causes more harm to the whole globe as compared to carbon. So I was like, okay, cool, what can I do? And again, I was anyway having a very low carbon footprint in terms of my emissions. I do not own a home or a car. I don't buy things. I don't buy clothes. I hardly do things in life. I just sit and use my laptop, do things over it, or I am just like out there traveling.
How many things do you own? If you had to count
Things
them.
are things really difficult to say, but let's say things include my mic as well, my camera as well, drone as well, everything. So I
Okay,
would
tell
say
me about number of pieces of clothing that you
clothes I
Yeah.
have like 4 pants, 5 t-shirts, 2 shirts, 1 kurta.
That's your whole
Yeah.
life, your whole world.
Yeah.
So you could pack it up in a suitcase.
I do it every
You
day.
do pack it up
Every
in a
day.
suitcase.
When I have to go somewhere.
Since when did you decide you wanted to live life on the road, to live life?
I didn't decide it. It happened with time. I just wanted to cycle. As a kid, I really wanted to cycle throughout my childhood. I didn't get it, but then in 2014, back in Indore city, Madhya Pradesh, I organized Indore's first cyclothon. Because I'm the kid that if you don't let me do something, I'm going to do it really
You want
big.
to do it even more.
Right? Huh? So I'm really really the irritating kid. So
That I can agree with.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I didn't get to cycle throughout my childhood. I really wanted like several cycles at a different stage in life. I didn't get it. So then I did a cyclothon, earned money out of it, and bought myself a cycle. Along with we raised money and donated charity like cycles to kids who do not have money to buy it. So I could help few other Aakash, small Aakash, and then I could help this bigger Aakash as well, and got myself a cycle. Then I started cycling around and ended up going to Indore to Bombay. Somewhere around 570 kilometers, and
you cycled from Indore to Bombay.
Yeah. I love it. So somewhere in about like 5 days. But then this journey obviously taught me a lot of things, including this one thing, which is that okay, hey, cycling is one thing. There's a thing called traveling. And I really loved it. So I wanted to do more of cycle. Then I did a lot of cycling, and then from then on, life just kept going on. And I did not really have money to hoard things, buy things, and then also I was like traveling constantly, which does not allow me to have a lot of stuff. If I have stuff, I can't cycle, and then I might have to have a car right behind me which carries my stuff and take me places which I can't afford. So unknowingly, automatically, the life chose me rather than I chose the life.
The minimalist life chose
Yeah,
you.
exactly. So I just kept going on, and things just like kept falling in place, and this life just took shape on its own. Yeah.
What is the biggest thing the life of a minimalist gives you?
Freedom. That's what everybody wants. I'm free.
Free from?
Everything. I don't have things, so I'm free from things.
What would you say to someone who's a maximalist? I mean, we all have, homes. We aspire for more things. We want to buy more things. We get trapped into the whole culture of consumerism, advertisement, things being, thrown at you in terms of buy this, buy that. What do you have to say to someone who falls into that trap, like all of us?
See, if they really enjoy it, be happy. Keep doing it. If you like it, who am I to stop you? It's your own money. You're spending it. But if the person who's listening to me right now at this point and really wants to hear a different perspective, then here we go. Do you really want it? Or you're buying things because you saw somebody else buying things and that's why you have it, right? That's really important. That's the reason most of the time we are not really happy, because I didn't really want to go to Dubai. I went because I saw that
Somebody else went to
XYZ
Dubai.
Rahul went over there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, I should also go and I should take a picture over there. I want to be on the top of this biggest building in the world and take a picture of my feet and the whole world is visible down there. So most of the time, I'm not really choosing what I want. I don't even know what I want because I hardly spend time with myself. Most of the time, I'm in an office which either I own or either I work, and then I'm out there in the traffic. I come home and then I'm in between people whom I have to take care of, and then that's it. So I don't even get time to really know myself. So how do I know what do I really want? What really makes me happy? So then where do I pick my dreams from? I pick my dreams from social media. I pick my dreams from people being appreciated for doing XYZ things. So if people are being appreciated for buying different clothes, I want to buy those clothes so that I can get appreciated from other people and I feel good. So feeling appreciated is like a food for soul, not soul, but for mind. Sorry, it's like everybody wants to get appreciated. So consumerism is one way, like when you consume things, so people appreciate you. How? Because they want the same thing. When you get a car, Lamborghini, for example, let's say, so people don't want to take a picture with you. They don't really love you. They don't even know your name. They'll forget you tomorrow if you don't have the money. They love those things, right? So when you buy those things, you buy an opportunity that people will come and appreciate you.
But I think what you're craving is social validation. You're craving belonging. You're craving acceptance.
Yeah, you're craving friends and people who love you and who likes you. But then you can't really like buy friends,
your way
right?
into it.
Right. So then you buy things so that people who want those things, they eventually come to you. It's like you have a shop and I come to you to buy the things. I didn't come to you. I came to the shop to buy that thing.
I'm coming from a point of view where people tell me that environmentalism, sustainability is not for India because we have different problems as an economy. We have different problems as a country where half of the people, more than half of our population, is thinking about survival, is thinking about the basic needs not being met. To a population like that, you can't really be talking to them about environment, climate change, sustainability. It's not. We don't have the luxury or the privilege to think about those problems. That's what I hear. What do you have to say about that?
Let's solve this problem let's solve climate change by solving poverty, right? Let's do it. How do we do it? The problem, survival is food. You want food, right? Let everyone go plant-based. What's happening currently is globally, we are growing food enough for 12 to 15 billion people.
How many 12 to 15 billion people.
Yeah, that's how much food we are growing from the ground for humans to eat. How many are there? 8. Where's the food going? Animals are eating it.
Also trash can, the amount of food waste.
That's another one. We don't really have to even worry about it. Let's waste food. I'm okay with it. There's so much food.
We're wasting the animals that we're rearing for food as well. I read this recently that 25% of the animals that are killed for meat are not even being eaten.
No, that's even another problem. That's on another level. We are going way too far in the hierarchy. What I'm saying is, we just grow the food from ground. We have already grown food for 15 billion people, about 12 to 15 billion people. There are only 8 billion people. Why are we not getting enough food to give it to everyone? We should be just able to give it at the least cost possible because we have more. It's sort of like people just gonna buy 12 packets, 12 glasses from me, and I already 8 glasses from me, and I have 15 glasses. How can I even increase the price, right? Otherwise, I have to lie that, okay, no, there's so much demand. I only have 5 glasses, guys, and you are 7 to buy. Bid it. No, but we know publicly that we are growing. I have 12 to 15 glasses, and I just have to sell 8. So I can just give it at the nominal cost, right? But then what happens here? I have 15 glasses now. The richer one comes in the bidding place, right? And they bid so much money that I am ready to buy everything, right? Let's say I'm going to buy out of 15, I'll buy 7 to 8 billion food, right? 7 to 8 food enough for 7 to 8 billion people. And this only rich company buys this much, takes away the food. Now we are only left with, let's say, 6 to 7 billion people food. Now what happens? In this 6 to 7 billion food, all the people existing out there have to buy and eat. But there are 8 billion people. So 1 billion almost every year ends up sleeping without food. Hunger. Where is this rich guy taking this food? He takes this food to all the animals so that they can eat, they can grow, and next day they can kill them and eat them and sell them even further on, right? So it's all about bidding, right? Every farmer wants to sell the food at the best cost possible. That's how system works. When I go and put money on a desk, like let's say, right, I'm naming a brand. If I put the money on the brand that, okay, I want that, whatever this thing, chicken or meat thing is, I want to buy it. Now the money trickles down the system. Gets it, they give it to their vendor, wherever they're getting their chickens or another animal from. That goes to that chicken...
Poultry farm?
Poultry farms, yeah, right? When I pay to take this money to people, they are taking things from. Let's say, for example, they are buying chickens or they are buying whatever things they need. Now, that money goes to this, let's say, animal farm, wherever they keep these farms. Obviously, they pay the money. to a farmer that, hey, I want to buy your food. Give it to me. I have animals. But then they'll be like, no, people already want to buy food. There are so many people who need food. So we're like, no, I'm going to give you 2 rupee more. I want to buy this. Right? He takes this animal farmer guy, buy all of these eatable food which humans can eat, and they take it to this place. Chickens and all these other animals. Obviously, when the farmer is farming in the land, we are using the land, then we are giving water, it's a natural resource, and then we are using fossil fuel over there to do the farming, right? So already the food has a carbon footprint.
Of course, I think it's land.
Yeah.
Land use, deforestation,
Yes.
clearing of land to rear these animals.
Yeah.
Like you said, water and feed.
Yeah. It's like, for example, a human can just go and eat the food right then and there, and the cycle will end with that much of carbon footprint. Let's say for now, the food carbon footprint, just in a rough example, is 100 kgs. I go buy this bowl of meal, eat it, it's rice and some sort of a dal, I eat it, 100 kgs, done. But now what happens? No. We stop, I don't want to eat this. Take this food, feed it to this animal, then kill the animal and give this to me. So now this 100 kgs of carbon emission out there eventually is almost to like somewhere about 800 kgs of carbon emission, and now I eat it. I'm still filling that tiny little stomach, which I could have filled right here by eating plant-based food, but it takes the whole circle, then comes to me, and then I kill the animal. Cruelty is just another out of the roof topic over here now, and I'm just emitting so much of carbon, still filling my tiny little stomach. Why? Because I just need this taste and this feeling in my brain that मैंने तो बचपने से ही non-veg खाया है, तो मैं कुछ कर नहीं सकता.
Do you think it's just taste? Do you think it's just about taste?
A lot of ego as well.
What do you mean ego?
That okay, ये बच्चों का खाना कौन खाएगा?
बच्चों का खाना.
Meals like all these
masculinity,
masculinity, right?
That's attached to meat.
Yeah, it's sort of like it's the strong food. It's the food of like a strong people.
Who made us believe that?
It's things like out there in the society, we pick things from other people. Some people just pretended. Like, for example, okay, tell me, it's sort of like who told us that cake is the birthday thing, right? We just somehow started accepting it. Yeah, that's how it works, right? Everyone created their own thing. And if you see any movie, let's look at a movie, right? All these Bollywood movies or Hollywood movies, we have shown all these non-vegetarian food very cool, right? Whenever there is a party, हमेशा वो चिकन का ही डिनर क्यों होना होता है, right? Why there's not a plant-based dinner happening? Right?
I think you're becoming ambitious about plant-based dinners happening.
No, my point is simple.
See, it's become aspirational. The same thing that you said about spending money and wanting more things, that's become aspirational. The same way that I think eating meat has become aspirational, even if we don't understand where it comes from, even if we don't understand the reality behind it, even if we don't, see the truth in animal agriculture and the impact of it. So what are your deep practices? What keeps you grounded? What keeps you close to nature?
I think, see, one of the biggest thing which has helped me is traveling.
How so?
Right? I think traveling plus the way my childhood was, both of these things. Because see, I was born in a lower middle class family, right? As I said, we did not even have money to pay for the college fee, right? Even if before college, I look at the other half of the life, like before that one, my mom was to make 9,500 rupees a month. That's the whole money we have for
She supported you.
Yeah, for a month, right? Rent has to go with that money. Food has to come up with that. School fee, whatever my tantrums or if my some wishes are there, that has to be fulfilled within that much. And she has to go to that place where she works every day within that much money. Today, if I imagine going to the distance she was traveling to that place where she was working, I would take an auto because there's no direct bus ride, or like you'll have to 2 different autos and bus in between. I think I'll just lose 9,500 rupees in that commute itself in the morning, in the evening, right? So she would just walk to go to that place. So first, seeing that part of life really makes you humble, right? Puts you down. The kind of food I've had throughout my life, as in like in childhood when I lived in school time, just basic things. There were times, I can obviously tell you that, when I just had bread and sugar, that's it.
Bread and sugar.
Yeah, that's it. I really love
meal.
sugar. I try to eat less of it now because I know that it's not healthy. But then there are times in childhood, I just remember I was in Haridwar, a small, tiny little room we lived in. And in the noon, I was really hungry. My mom was sleeping. And that day, because at this point of time, she was not working because we went back to Haridwar to live with this so-called father guy. right?
So-called
Yeah, I
father.
don't really I can't just call him father. It doesn't really feel right.
It doesn't come naturally.
Yeah, it's just not possible for me to do it. So-called father guy, the role
Have
he
you
played.
made peace with that? Have you accepted that
Yeah,
there's
I'm okay
always
with
going to
it.
be a
I'm
father
super
shaped hole in
happy.
your life?
I don't need a father in my life. My mom is super amazing. That time my mom was not working because we again fell off in that trap that okay, let's trust this guy once again, we're gonna go live with him, everything will be fine. And again, we didn't really expect that okay, he's gonna give us a bungalow or everything best. We know that okay, we're just gonna survive together, but we'll be good to each other. We reached over there, then one day, just I remember in the afternoon in Haridwar, wherever we were to live, in a small tiny room. Yeah, they both were sleeping, and then I ate bread and sugar in between it. So, how do we make a half, like it's a full slice of bread? I kept sugar on it and flipped it like this and ate it. I loved it. No doubt. I love it. I still can eat it because I love it. But then, yeah, when you eat that sort of a food in day to day life and basic food, my mom makes good food, but not better than my nani. But then my nani's home food is really again super basic. Patta gobi ka sabzi, tuar ki dal, roti, bhindi, palak, and kaddu, and all of these things. This is my whole childhood. And
Were you
now,
vegetarian? Were you always vegetarian?
yes, always a vegetarian,
Okay.
right? Even today, when it comes to eating the best food in life, this is what I want to eat again. I'm in love with patta gobi ka sabzi and bhindi ka sabzi. As soon as I reach back home, my mom knows make bhindi ka sabzi, make what do we call एक चीज होती है which is made out of सेव. I don't know, people other places people might not know it. There's a thing called सेव. A lot of people would know it. सेव and टमाटर की एक सब्जी बनती है. I just love it. It's super spicy, right? My mom would make it. So this is what I'm really craving for. Because again, also that I live outside the home all the time. I'm a nomad, so I can eat all of these market cutting every day. That's my sort of like everyday food, unknowingly, unintentionally.
Is that your definition of plant-based food?
Yeah,
Is that your
yeah.
definition of vegan
That's
food?
why that's why I call it plant-based. I don't call it vegan.
Why? What
Because
is the difference between plant-based and vegan?
So I think it's like non-vegetarian, vegetarian, vegan,
Let's
and
let's
plant-based.
flip it. Let's start with vegan. I would put non-vegetarian at the bottom of the pyramid.
No, I'm talking in terms of impact.
Okay.
Impact of
Okay.
it. So when you eat non-veg, it's the highest impact you can create.
Yeah. Highest negative impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, climate change impact. I'm
Okay,
saying you
okay.
impact climate change in the most
Okay.
negative way.
So tell
Then
me top down impact in terms of diet.
Yeah. So let's say non-vegetarian food, you consume everything and impact the environment in all the possible negative ways. Then I feel then comes somewhere veganism, right? Because then you're asking, oh, I need avocado. Avocado consumes a lot of carbon, puts out a lot of carbon emission out there and takes a lot of water to grow. And then you're asking, okay, I need alternative meat and beef, right? So then again,
Lab grown.
right? Exactly, lab grown. So then again takes a lot of energy to produce. Then comes the vegetarian. But then again, here comes the part where you include dairy in it. And dairy again connects back to the non-veg industry, and then you emit a lot of carbon emission, methane emission when these animals are living, and you're just breeding them. Not that I have a problem with animal being living, and I'm not saying okay, let's kill the animals. The problem is you're intentionally breeding them just as a means to grow the food you want and eventually kill them. So what happens now? Non-vegetarian, vegetarian, and veganism. And then comes the plant-based. Now, what is plant-based? Why am I a plant-based person and not a vegan person? I don't want to create a divide between all of these vegan and plant-based people. They can live the way they want. It's just my personal belief, which is when I say I'm a plant-based, I just want plant. I don't want your lab-grown meat, beef, or anything. I don't eat it. I just can't eat it. I can't accept it in my brain because psychologically I've never had non-veg food. So now even when you present me
that taste doesn't appeal to you. It's not fair
taste, the way it looks like, I'm like, hey, it just looks like that. Right?
Yeah, but I think it's trying to imitate that for people who are trying to transition.
Yes. So this food is good for them. Even friends of mine, Blue Tribe, I was having a conversation with Sohil and he told me that, Aakash, we don't want you to eat this even. We are not even making this food for vegetarians and vegan people who are already there. We are making it for non-vegetarians so they have an alternative to shift to. If people from this side start shifting to this one, they are going to increase the carbon emissions and impact on environment. Better they should shift down, which is like non-vegetarian should come to alternative meat and not vegetarian people start eating it. That's wrong, right? So same goes for me. I just stick to plants. I need like my normal roti, sabzi, chawal, dal and all of these things. And I'm super happy with along with salad and lemon and everything.
I think I have a different opinion because I am vegan. I call myself vegan just because I think of it more as a lifestyle. I think of it as a lifestyle more than just a diet, right? I prefer plant-based food as well. So I grew up in Kolhapur. So for me, a simple meal is bhakri, mirchi ka thecha, there's bengan bharta, there's all of that. So that is my comfort food as well. That is what I go back to. For me, that's simple, vegan, plant-based food. But lifestyle in the sense you stop using leather. You stop using wool, you stop using suede, you stop using tweed, and stop consuming honey. I think multiple things that I had to learn about. I didn't even know, things like some of the sugar brands, they're not vegan. Some of the wine brands, like they're not vegan, right? So there are things that you learn along the way. But so I see veganism as a lifestyle more than just, hey, I'm plant-based, but I'm also vegan at the same time. What do you think of that?
No, I think again, as I said, for me, plant-based is this only. See, anyway, I don't use wool, right? I really love Harry Potter, and I know a practicality of life that people die, people leave us, right? And I felt like, hey, eventually, I and my mom, we really talk about dying, time to time, like.
Openly.
Yeah, it'll happen one day eventually, and then उनका property मुझे मिल जाएगा.
Wow. So someone who doesn't want to own a house and talks about death for inheritance.
So though I don't live in a house and I don't need that, but yeah, we talk about it. That, okay, when's that happening? I need a house. So just to make fun of it, I would talk to her about this. But yeah, we accept death as well. So I came up with this idea that before she dies, I need to take something from her which stays with me till the time I die. So I came up with this idea. I really love Harry Potter. So I asked, okay, make a sweater for me. Right? And I've been looking for an alternative material which I can use, which is vegan, right? Which is not wool, right? So that's how this point popped up that, okay, I don't use any sort of wool. If I buy any jacket, which I recently ended up buying one while I was in Europe because it was getting cold over there. So I bought it from Patagonia, the one which is vegan, right? And then obviously I don't wear any leather. I am wearing slippers today, which are not leather, which are just rubbers, right? But they look like leather. So just heads up. बाद में कोई मेरा photo खींच के internet पे डाले, hey, this guy is wearing leather, right? And anything I own, this watch has rubber, not leather in it.
How does a climate activist make money?
How does a climate activist make money? First of all, climate activist doesn't really need a lot of money. That's a very important thing.
I mean, to fund your activism, I know so many climate activists around the world who are doing incredible work, but of course we...
See, if you're doing an incredible work, then you don't really have to worry about money. There are so many organizations sitting out there, they want to fuel you. They have the money, they want your word out. If you're really doing good. That's what happens to me as well a lot of time. Whenever you see me going to a different country and doing things over there, I have to spend 0 rupees.
How is that?
Because there are organizations, like for example, I end up in Europe every year, right? This year I ended up spending over there about 3 months. Paris Peace Forum, right? They love the work I do. They feel that whatever the work I am doing is valuable. My word should go out. My thought should be out. People should know it. And they spend the money on me to make it happen for me that I go there, right? You saw me in COP. I didn't spend money to go over there, live in that hotel, reach to that spot. Right? Somebody else spent money, another charity from from United States of America to, I could have said USA, but then I got confused, or US. But yeah, that's the country I'm talking about. They spend the money to put me there. That, okay, it's important. You should experience it. You should be there. Your voice should be heard. Your thought should be presented over there. So most of the time that's happened. But again, see, it's just not like, that's not how I can run the life. So I do make money. How do I make money? I can make money by writing books. But okay, this time I chose to give it to charity. Otherwise, this is my money. I could make it and I could live off that.
Okay, so that's one thing.
Right. Another one could be, let's say, I can contribute to platforms like Forbes and Vice and Times of India.
As a writer?
Yes. And I do it time to time. I can make money out of that as well, right? There are more platforms who can allow me because I have exposure, I have learnings and understanding of specific subjects. And also that these subjects do not have so many people who can write about it. So I can be one that I am ready to do it and you can pay me for it. That's another way to make money on it. Then another one is I can start my own platform. Let's say, for example, I can start writing blogs or start a newsletter. I can make money out of it. YouTube and Instagram is obviously there.
For brand collaborations.
Yes, exactly. And I do brand collaborations time to time, and I'm really expensive when it comes to that because I'm really pricey because I'm like, hey, I really do good work. Right? I don't want, if you can't really pay me the money I want, it's okay, let's not.
What value do you offer the brand and why do you think a brand would reach out to you over
because they first of all get to
followers?
Because they first of all get to associate with someone who's genuinely working on ground. I'm like, hey, delete Instagram, my work still stays out there. If there's no Instagram tomorrow, my book will still be here with you, right? If there's no Instagram or social media tomorrow, my documentary will be there still with you tomorrow, right? The papers I have worked with, different agencies or including Paris Peace Forum, those will still exist out there, right? The impact will still be there, right? And I want to keep doing more of that sort of work. But again, when I build the value on ground and then I just exist on Instagram, that's money, right? Because I'm like, hey, my words is backed by my action, right? So when people try to dig into me, that's, see, also with the thing which you were saying, that when people come to me and try to, let's say, bully me, why doesn't it affect me? I think because I was really genuinely satisfied with the work I did. Hence, whatever he told me couldn't really reach through, right? It was just words, random message. I'm like, hey, I know the work I've done. But if I didn't really do it and I was just trying to pretend it or fake it, and then if somebody comes and tell me something, then I'm like, oh, how dare you talk to me like this? But then I think I was
waterproof.
Yeah, and I think, I was
like, the work that you do is,
yes, I think I'm sold on my work, so I don't really have to.
You don't need that validation.
Yes, I don't really need to hear it from you that how do you feel about it. I'm like, hey, I literally told him in the message, I'm like, see, I think it's okay to get an appreciation from United Nations, but I think I can't really get an appreciation from you. Right?
And that's okay.
Right? I'm like, your standards are way too high. I'm like, I'll just live in peace with United Nations, but I can't get to you. That's some another level.
No,
right?
That's fair.
So, but I think, that's what makes me humble or just happy with what I have. And also, I think somewhere, I think it's my style now.
What's your style?
That's me. That I wear a 7-year-old watch, which I bought. I didn't even buy the watch. Thanks to the company, they gifted me. And then I just live with the watch. And I can just live with this happy feeling that, damn, I'm sustainable.
You're proud of that.
Yeah. I'm really happy with this. That, damn, this one pair of shoes I've been wearing for so many years. You know, by the way, the story of my shoes, this is the same shoes I walked in from India to Nepal. This is the same shoes I walked in from Manali to Ladakh. There's a story behind my shoes. When I look at my clothes, I'm like, these clothes are traveler, man. They went to 12 countries.
Yeah. So your pride doesn't come from the number of shoes that you own. Your
But
pride
the story,
comes from
the
the
experience they
stories
have.
behind that one pair that you have and what they've done for you.
Yeah.
That's,
exactly. Because those are like cool shoes. I'm like, hey, guys, you remember you were in Paris, you were in Rome. So I'm like, my things
in
have
my
a story.
sweaty feet.
Yeah, exactly. No, not sweaty. I'm very neat and clean hygiene. Yeah. That's not happening. But yeah, so I'm like, I think that's what's cool for me, right? Cool is not buying another car, but because hey, you bought a car, now what?
How do we change this definition of what is cool? How do we change the definition of what is aspirational?
Put the right people out. Like, I know, I like it, like how, again, like, see, for example, 3 Idiot movie, they did try to do good. They did try to put a good guy out doing good things. But having a good teacher doesn't mean the student will excel, right? People thought, okay, it's about going to Ladakh and taking a picture on that bum wala thing or on the scooter. I'm like, no. The director wanted to do something else. He wanted to bring out a good story that you should also try to do these sort of things. This is real education. They wanted to have more of such people who would become such sort of a teacher and such sort of a student. But no, people thought, oh, it's about going to Ladakh in a trip, sitting on a scooter or next to that lake. So no, we are not good students as well. First, we should try to be good student, right?
But you're right. There need to be more voices out there. There needs to be, like you said, just we need people out there who make this lifestyle cool, who make it look aspirational.
And see, you're doing the same work. You're like the director of 3 Idiot movie. Now you're trying to direct in another thing, that this podcast is your movie. You're directing and you're putting people out who are doing that sort of stuff, which is considered cool in your way, cool in nature's way, cool in environmental way. That you are trying to put me on the face. That let's say put me on the face out there, like that. Okay, let's tell a story of this guy Aakash, right? What he does. Now
I believe that your voice needs to be louder than all the other voices out there telling you to buy more stuff, telling you to consume more, telling you to, maybe go to Ladakh in that 4x4 vehicle that, gets you there.
Yes, so I think now once this podcast comes out, when people are watching it, some people might pick up on this as a cool thing. They might say, no, I think this is more cool. Rather than taking a flight to Ladakh, I think I want to cycle to Ladakh. I want to walk to Ladakh or do something else to Ladakh or in some other way, right? So I think, that's what we need to do more. We need more people to work in this space, and then we need more people like you who puts the people out to public that, okay, see, I find this is cool. What do you think about it?
Yeah.
And people might pick it up.
As I mentioned, we were both at COP together. Can you summarize what COP is for someone who doesn't know what COP means?
Okay, so the idea behind COP is very simple. The time came when scientists started speaking out about that, okay, climate change is happening, the climate is changing. And what is climate? The way universe function, the ecosystem of it, the atmosphere, the temperature of it is changing at a very unprecedented rate. Something is not normal here. They started putting it out to people, to government, to policymakers, to leaders. That's when this thing came up. Okay, climate change is happening. Then the information outbreak went through media publications to more and more people. People realized that, okay, something like this happening. A pressure started building. That's when also United Nations, obviously, they do want to work on these spaces. That's when the time came that, okay, we have to do something about it, right? And this thing was formed called COP, right? Though the name of this thing is very simple, so people don't really get it if I really explain it. It's conferences of parties, right? Conference of parties. But then, cool, this thing was formed. The idea was that we meet for this conference and we try to present our work every year once. That, okay, what have we done throughout? Negotiation happens. We negotiate that what should be the next, let's say, framework we should follow for one more year and for future to solve this crisis we are in called climate change or global warming. We should try to fight it. So it's sort of like a one-stop every year. Everyone takes at one place where they all come together, present their work, share their findings, present their demands that, okay, what should be done? Young people, climate activists, environmentalists, or policymakers, or professionals, or UN people, and now also lobbyists and fossil fuel brands as well. They also come to present their points. Yeah, this is sarcasm, but they do it. So
what was COP like for you this year?
This year, how was it for me? I think this was almost the same the way it was last year, or it has ever been.
What do you get out of it?
What do we get out of it? A little hope, a little disappointment.
Did it give you hope?
Yeah, it did give me hope a little bit. Acknowledgement is the hope part. Like, for example, how they acknowledged loss and damage fund, how they acknowledged GST. All right, so that does give me hope that, okay, at least acknowledgement is there. That, okay, cool. We acknowledge this thing is happening and we should do something about in this category as well. And for now, we're going to give you few pennies to solve this problem. Yes, the pennies which they have given out is not enough to really solve this problem.
0.2% of the fund of the money that's actually required for loss and
yes,
damage
sort of,
funding.
right? So for example, we need somewhere about $400 billion and they have given us $777 million. So you can now put it in the perspective of percentage, but then yes. So, but at least some people are happy with it. At least the acknowledgement is there. Now the fight is about how much money do we want. Now we have to negotiate. At least we have the grounds to put other countries at a point that, okay, you have to do it, right? Yes, you're doing it. Now let's negotiate how much you should be doing, right? That way, right? It's sort of like, yes, you have done wrong, but now let's understand how much you should be paying for the wrongdoings, right? So that's right. That's good as well. So that's the hope part. But disappointment is this only, that again, we don't have time. We have to do it quicker. We have to fix it quicker. But you're delaying it by just today acknowledging it. Next year, we have to come back and then negotiate again on this, that, okay, now how much money do we really need? And also that there are different points which disappoints. Like, for example, phasing out fossil fuel is one important thing. Yes, I know I come from India. We are sitting in India. For India, it's not really practically possible to start really phasing out fossil fuel at this point of time.
Why does India rely on fossil fuels?
Because we are dependent on it. We are a growing economy, right? We are not already developed. We are a developing nation. There are people who are here who still have to find a ground to live, right? Or still have to find a proper way to make money. And there are smaller islands as well, countries as well, who do not have the resources or the money or the brains to run everything on renewable energies right away, right? It's sort of like, let's say, understand, if you're asking me to move this mic from here to there, for me, it's easy, right? But now, let's say you're asking another smaller kid to move this mic from here to there. It's going to take time, right, for that kid. I'm a developed nation, right? So I have the strength, knowledge, experience, understanding, technicality, ability, everything to know how to pick it up without let's say, disturbing anything else, making a mess, and put it there, right? I have the understanding, so I might try to remove the cable first and then put it there.
Yeah.
So technical understanding versus a kid.
So what does a country like India need to do to transition away from fossil fuels? What does a country like India need to do to not give up on growing as a nation, versus making sure that we're not crossing more planetary boundaries, that we're not emitting more carbon?
See, I need, what I feel here is we need better policies and better frameworks to follow, right? And keep better checkpoints for ourselves. As of now, what I feel, India has taken this 2070 as the final deadline for us
to go carbon neutral.
right? Exactly. Which I feel is not really right, because this is the last one. So it's like, okay, how much time do we have? People be like, okay, this country has chosen 2035 or 2050 or 2060 or 20 something, or okay, what is the max do we have? Oh, max is 2070. Okay, cool, give me that one. It's sort of like that. No, you can't really do this, right? It's just, we have taken, okay, what is the max amount of time you can give me? Give me that. I'm not sure that
Do you think that's too late?
It is too late, right? And I think the capabilities, the kind of capabilities India has, we can achieve it in a far lesser time than 2070.
How?
We just need to let go of greed and start focusing on
a developing country, a growing economy, how I've heard a lot of people say that these rich countries have had the privilege of growing. They've had the privilege of growth, development, which they're not letting India have right now by saying, hey, you can't produce more, you can't consume more, you can't emit more carbon. Where's the balance?
It is just a discussion. India will keep emitting. This discussion is just like verbal. It's happening. India will have the allowance and India will emit. That's there on paper, right? And India, the position where India sits, it won't accept that, okay, I'm going to take another timeline which is shorter than this, or India won't bow down on this, that, okay, cool, I'm going to emit less. India will do what it decides to do. The problem what I have is, just India is not deciding to do it quicker. India is deciding, I'm going to do it later on. Nobody can really pull down India that, okay, you will have to do what we say. India is really powerful. We can make our calls our way, right? And the world will follow along that, okay, cool, if they are saying 2070, let's just do it. India has the power, right? But the problem here is the leaders who are sitting out there, somewhere, see, the terms goes for 4 years, right? And the point we have here is 2070. I don't know, let's count how many terms can be there in between. Who knows who's really alive then, and the leader is the leader at that point of time. We are just putting his throat on the knife. That, hey, I've made a commitment. You take care of it, right? If somebody is, let's say, at 60, who is the prime minister at that point of time? What's his age today? He is what, 20, 70 we are talking about, right?
Yeah.
32, 40, 50, 60, 70. And then 6 here. 46 minus 60, it's about like he's 24 today. Or what? Yeah. No, he's 14 today. If the prime minister in 2070 is 60, that's a kid today of 14 years.
Yeah, who's dealing with climate anxiety.
So, no, in a way, do you understand?
Yeah.
Currently, when we made a commitment that in 2070 we would have fixed it, in 2070, if we have a prime minister at the age of 60, that is a kid in today's time living somewhere at the age of 14. He does not even know climate change is happening, exist. He might be just trying to avoid school homework. So today when we sit in United Nations and we made a commitment, I just realized it now when I calculated it, that we made a commitment. So our government made a commitment that the kid who is like somewhere on the streets of India at the age of 14 crying for a ice cream, we are putting it on him or her that he or she will be the one in 2070 fixing it. Right? How are we doing it? So no, what I mean is we need to have more practical understanding of things, right? Have a better plan of action. And again, we have to let go of greed before we die. We are delaying it way too much. We have the money, we have the resources. We are still investing so much money in fossil fuel, which we genuinely can give subsidies to solar We can have far better plans to support, and we can make the processes easy for people who want to shift to a sustainable business.
So for that transition from fossil fuel run economy to a renewable, to an economy that runs on renewable energy, financing, subsidies.
Yeah. And even with the food, we need to start putting up things on food as well. That, okay, food waste can't be there like this, the way we do it. Then we can't consume non-veg food at the rate we are consuming at. We have to stop. I'm personally really in support of this, that we should stop these brands from exploiting India, brands like non-veg brands. Stop. No, we can't entertain it. I'm not at this stage. I can't entertain it. It's like, hey, a fight is happening and there's a kid in the room which is asking that, can we play music? That might be me. But no, we can't do it right now. It's a fight happening. We have to get through the thing, right? I can't entertain all these funny thoughts you have. I can provide you the basic necessities, which is a good, healthy food, right? Just because we are allowing and again, because we are seeking on it, that, okay, the amount of money they make as a business, and then it comes back to government as a tax.
Yeah.
And there are so many people dependent on this food, but can we really reflect back on it, the impact it creates, the money it offers, now to fix this impact? How much money do we really have to invest back to fix it?
Yeah.
We are going in loss.
Yeah.
We are just seeing things in short term, right? So we really should bring such policies which
so policies is where it begins for you.
Yeah, so let's say list down all the things which are emitting carbon and methane, which are causing climate change. Let's see where is it coming from, what are the top sources of it, and let's start making policies. How do we slowly cut down on them?
I get this criticism quite a bit that sustainability, climate change, environmentalism, veganism is not for India. It's not for a growing, developing, recovering country like us, because there are different priorities, because people are, thinking about where their food comes from. So do you think sustainability, climate change, environment is not for India? Are these terms that India is not ready for? Or why do people here not care about it?
The people who said this should wake up and should get ready. Because when disasters comes knocking, only the fools will be laughing. It's a poem by Stastone, and I love it. Who am I? That's the name of the poem. But there's this line which I really love, and when you said it, I'm like, that's what it means. That's what you're saying. When the disaster comes knocking, the fools will be laughing. The whole world is preparing for it, that yes, we have gone wrong. And if you're not doing it right now...
Argument is कि बाकी rich countries, बाकी developed countries के पास पैसे है, resources है to talk about sustainability, to talk about climate change, and then to figure out how to fight it. But if you're thinking about someone, a daily wage worker, how are you going to teach that person what recycling is?
वो climate तो cause कर भी नहीं रहा है, उसकी वजह से climate change हो ही नहीं रहा, बेचारा क्या ही खाता है दिन भर में खाना. सिखाना है तो है millionaires और billionaires को.
So that's our target audience in India.
The focus is always, when I was talking about putting climate tax, what did I say? Everyone should get a limited amount of carbon emission out there. ठीक है, हर किसी को 100 kg दे दिया, वो बेचारा गरीब तो वो 100 kg भी क्रॉस नहीं कर पाएगा. 100 kg वो शायद 50, 60, 70 kgs में ही शायद उसकी लाइफ खत्म हो जाए per day. These are the rich people who get up every day with money in pocket, drive a car around, go to a mall, watch a movie, buy clothes just because they are there. Randomly, oh, I just see this dress looking good. Let's just walk in and pick it up. When I want to wear it, I don't know. We'll just wear it today.
How do we get the millionaires, billionaires, the 1%, 2%, 3% of India to care about this?
They won't care about it. They have the money. They don't need to care about it. The people who do not have money, they care about things. The people who have money, they just throw money and make people care about them.
How do we flip this narrative?
Put a carbon tax.
You think that's going to solve everything?
That's the only way to do it. You can't really sit with them and convince them that, okay, you have worked hard or you have cheated. Whatever you did, you made money. Now don't spend it. It doesn't make logic. I worked hard. I climbed the Mount Everest. And then now you're telling me, don't ever share this with anyone ever that you might climbed a Mount Everest. Any person would want to do it. Right? The simple way is that, hey, logically we can't, like, if we really sit with them and explain them then otherwise the other point is, okay, let's start another therapy session, or let's start speaking session by Dalai Lama or some other really well-known teacher
See,
who
but
can.
people want to listen to the Dalai Lama. People want to listen to spiritual gurus, but nobody wants to listen to an environmentalist. Why do we get the eye rolls?
Because see, again, the people who listen to Dalai Lama, they want to fix it to themselves, right? They want to do it for themselves. And again, the people who are causing climate change are the ones who have made money. They don't even listen to to Dalai Lama as well, right? The people who listen to Dalai Lama, they are not really running after money that way, because Dalai Lama always talks about greed, that how greed is not really good.
So, is there a connection between spirituality? Is there a connection between finding yourself, finding, being, in close contact with yourself, having that monologue, having that dialogue with your inner self, and giving up on consumption?
Yeah. So climate change can be fixed in two ways. One is either the one which I told you, put carbon tax. That's it. Make rules and laws such way that, okay, if you do this, we do this, we're gonna take away your money. People won't do it.
What's
People
the
don't want to
second
lose their
solution?
money. The other way is by heart. So it's like brain or by heart, right? There's this tattoo I have called Balance with the alchemy sign of Earth, right? Which talks about if you want to fix climate change, the simple idea is live a balanced life on Earth, you fix climate change, right?
So, consume within my limits.
Yeah, exactly. If you listen to Dalai Lama, or if you're being kind, or if you're being compassionate, you'll be like, okay, cool, I want to consume as much as I really need. This is not of my need. I'm going to leave the food right on the table. I'm not going to take extra, right? I'm just going to take this 2 bites because I think I need this. 1 bite is for me, 1 bite because I have someone at home. I'm going to take this. Rest, I won't touch it, disturb it. Let it be safe here. Somebody else will take it. But again, we know in India how it works. भंडारा कहीं होता है, हम खाते तो खाते हैं, थैली लेके जाते हैं, डब्बा लेके जाते हैं, भर के लेके आते हैं, तब तक खाना सड़ जाएगा, हम खा भी नहीं पाएंगे, नहीं लेके चलते हैं. घर पे सब खा लेंगे, उससे भी ज्यादा खाना लेके जाएंगे. You can let it be here, somebody else can genuinely eat it, or they will not prepare it. ठीक है, इतने में enough हो गया. Let's not prepare it. We have more raw food. We can do tomorrow again. But no, मुझे डर है, मैं greedy हूँ, मैं अभी के अभी बहुत सारा ले जाता हूँ, घर पे eventually खा भी नहीं पाओगे और फेंकोगे. Right? That's who we are.
Yeah, you've got balance, but you've also got empathy and kindness tattooed on your neck. What do empathy and kindness have to do with sustainability, climate change?
See, if you are empathetic, you won't do this. If you're kind, you won't do this. If you're kind, like for example, whenever somebody backlashes on me, I just let them be. That, okay, cool. You be rude to me, I can still be kind to you, right? And again, also that I revolve my circle with these words. This is my vibe. When you meet me, you're talking to me about kindness. You're talking to me about empathy and grateful. I could have written greed over here or something like that. And then you will talk to me more about those things. So I set my vibe right? Then let people come to me, even if they don't speak to me, even before they come to me, they already know this guy has kindness tattoo. I really like your tattoo. Really nice. So they already know that this guy is kind. So the tone of the conversation is already being set.
So we need kindness, compassion, empathy infused into these conversations a lot more. You mentioned veganism and plant-based before. One of the first few things I hear is that veganism is it's for the elite. Veganism is not sustainable. It's expensive. It's unaffordable. All of these things. So do you have a perception? What's your take on plant-based food or vegan food being expensive?
See, that's the reason I keep these two things different, veganism and plant-based. I think plant-based is a pretty different definition, and that's the reason I call myself a plant-based person, that hey, I do not want your avocado, I do not want tofu, I do not want all these fancy superfoods or alternative foods. I don't want that. Just vegetarian. Out of that thing, take out the dairy.
I'll give you 30 seconds. Name all the simple plant-based dishes that you can name under 30 seconds. Let's
cool. पत्ता गोभी सब्जी, तुअर दाल, मूंग दाल, चने की सब्जी, छोली की सब्जी, then भिंडी, पत्ता गोभी, सेव टमाटर, then मिसल पाव, vada pav, onion tomato uttapam, I love it. Mysore masala dosa, normal masala dosa, different. I'm going to name all the dosas.
That's cheating.
Right? Yeah, that's why I'm not doing it. But then idli sambar, I love it. Vada, I love it. All the different types of rice you make it, all are like whether lemon rice, tomato rice, whichever, all are vegan, right? And then, litti choka, what do we call then this what do we call? I am forgetting the name. I love eating it. Dal bati. It's
Dal
vegan,
bati
right?
without ghee.
Yeah. Go to
dal bati.
Gujarat. Oh God, how can I forget
Rajasthan,
that?
what do
Yes,
you
Rajasthan.
mean? It comes from my
Exactly,
hometown.
Rajasthan
Yeah.
and Gujarat. All the food are vegan. Khaman. Oh my God. Oh shit, I want to eat. And then dhokla. And then what do we call this thing? I'm forgetting the name. Khakra, thepla. Everything is vegan.
All of this talk about food has made me hungry, but I know every single time we've eaten, there's been an ego battle of who can eat more chilies.
I don't have
So-
ego. I just know it that I can.
Oh, you just know you
Might
can.
be your side
Okay,
is full of ego.
Let's. My side is full of ego.
Mine is not, so I just know my
Okay,
side.
how about, which is why I invited you to a chili eating face off, and that's what we're gonna do today. On your right and my left, there's a plate full of chilies. We're gonna eat them one by one, and whoever gives up first, obviously, loses the battle, which you seem quite excited about. So I'm starting with the first one. Yeah, let's do this. Listen. Stop smiling. Why are you smiling through this? I want to see if your palate is clean.
What would I have? I've been talking for 2 hours.
I want to see if it's digested. It's not hidden anywhere.
How much will I hide?
How much what?
Hide. Too much.
Are you facing difficulty talking? Is that a tear? Is that a little tear? Let's see. You want to give up?
No.
Are you sure? Ready for the second one? All right, let's do it. Delicious. Vegan. Where do you build this spice tolerance from?
People.
I like the tears. I like the tears. I'm not touching my eye with the same hand. Oh gosh.
Second done?
Yeah? I'll wait for you. Love that. I'm loving the sadism that's coming out of me watching you cry.
Let's do it.
You can stop at any point.
Nothing can stop me.
You're determined to win this. What do you think I'm going to get out of this anyway?
Fun. And your loss.
My loss. Yeah, I'm feeling it now. Guys. I'm definitely feeling it. This is the time to give up, Aakash.
For you? Please go ahead.
Even through your tears. Just chill. Let's go. Let's go. Bite it, savor it. I'm done. Want to mention chili too. And see you relish it. We're so upset about climate change.
The greener one was more spicier than this one.
I think so too.
Or else I'll get to know later.
Are you emotional because climate change?
I'm very emotional. I'm crying for climate change. It's not the chili. It's the leaders not acting.
It's after COP28, right?
Yeah.
It's the pain.
It's not about the chili anymore.
Are we ready? This is number 4.
I was not ready for COP, but I'm ready for this.
I think this is easier to digest than what happened at COP.
Yeah.
The green chili was deadly.
And that's how the world will feel when the climate change hits.
Louder, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
That's how the world will feel when the climate change hits.
Like this.
Go for it.
So far, so good. This is the real test. I'm waiting for him to give. What happens if we both don't give up until the end?
We both win. We both are
That's
fighting.
not fair.
That's what should happen. We both are fighting for climate change.
So we both win.
Yeah.
Too equitable this competition has become.
Nice.
Unfair that your makeup doesn't get destroyed and mine does. We have issues and tissues
Yeah.
on this podcast.
I wish I could wipe off climate issues like this.
You seem to be doing a lot more than me.
I'm doing ASMR.
ASMR, you're
people.
just doing it for ASMR.
That's
You
why I'm
seem to
doing
have lost your voice. I
it?
seem to be okay. I'm just saying.
Good.
Yeah. Are
then
you sure you can handle it?
I can.
Oh my god, I don't know how we're gonna do this. Why do we call this death upon ourselves? The world is already burning. Why do our palates need to burn at the same time?
Yeah, the people who say, how does climate change feels like? They should eat all these chilies.
Feels like this,
that's how
right?
it feels like.
Painful.
Like it's 0.1%, not even a 0.0.1% of what's climate change feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Trooper, real trooper. Cheers, Aakash. This is a.
Chili. Go for it, guys.
He's lost his voice, guys. I don't know why he doesn't accept defeat.
Why do you have to shout out loud? I'm doing ASMR, team. Sorry, team.
You're just using ASMR as an excuse.
We already talked about it, right?
I seem okay. I'm composed. I'm well put together.
Good.
So I think this is. I get 1 point.
No.
Okay, we're going in, guys, for the last round. One bite. And then we'll see if we can keep going. Let's go. 3, 2.
How
1.
big is the bite you take? I'll just follow along.
What do you mean how big
I don't
is
know.
the bite? Just take a nibble.
You do it. I'll just follow exactly the same. Go. I like this one more.
It's yum.
And softer as well.
Hmm.
Feel like
Slightly delicious.
I'm eating some kind of gutka. क्या बात कर रहे हो क्या? मिर्ची खिला रही.
Yum.
Like कुछ तीखा खिलाने का बोल के मिर्ची खिला दिया हमको. अरे मतलब लाइन गंगा बोल के नाले में खिला दिया.
गंगा ही बहनी थी ना आपकी. गंगा बह रही है.
Yeah.
I can do one more. Can you?
I can do the whole.
I can do the whole thing as well.
Oh, let's do it then.
Okay.
इसके बीच नीचे है तो बाद में आएंगे.
It's actually really good. I'm enjoying this.
जिससे मेलोडी की चॉकलेट बीच में होती है, इसका भी वो बीच में था.
मेलोडी में जैसे वो मोदी और वो इटालियन.
Let's not talk about my leader. This is still doable, but I think end part will be the difficult one. That's why we have the seeds.
If you want to zoom in to the chilies, show me your seeds.
My chili seed.
I have eaten a lot more than you have. This is not fair.
So खत्म तो मैं भी पूरी ही करूँगा.
But okay, whole thing, one bite.
Okay.
But chew it. I want to see you
I do
chewing
it. And there's a camera on my face. There's a proof.
I want to hear the
ASMR.
sound bite of every single bite.
It's coming over there.
Okay, let's do this. We have one more to finish, and if we can both do it, you said we both win, right? Oh, he said whichever guy loses first, and there's only one guy here.
If you lose, I know your gender.
Am I the only one feeling it? Feeling something. The heat is transferring right here. Okay. Let's go. Whole thing. Bite it. Chew it.
Made a whole juice out of it.
Done.
I can feel it.
I'm only having water. I've not touched the milk yet.
Not the milk, but you have had the green tea.
Almond milk.
No.
Feel free to reach out for it
I will.
whenever you want to accept defeat.
When you lose it, then I will. I will die. Won't lose.
This is how you feel about climate change? You'll die for the cause.
Yeah, it's like Azadi Meri Dulhan hai.
Azadi aapki dulhan hai. 6 chili.
I know the count.
Guys,
Tell me
just see
something new.
this. I'm completely okay. Tears are only coming out of his eyes.
So what?
It's only coming from you. It's not coming
There's a
from me.
teardrop on the mic now.
Don't wet my mic. Let's go, Aakash. 6 chili. We've been okay so far.
Alive.
You said you couldn't offer me a rose, but you're giving me a
Keep
chili.
911 on dial.
For him specifically.
मेरे लिए 108 लगा ना मेरे को कुछ हो तो मेरे लिए 911 डायल ही मत करना.
Let's do it. Whole thing at a time, 3 bites.
Achha,
How are
is
we
it?
doing this?
The whole up to you. I'll just follow along.
Okay, let's do it in 2 bites this time, half and half. Okay? Bite it exactly in the center. You can just bite it. You don't have to break into it like roti.
Let's do it.
Aakash, I think there's something near your eye. You want to rub? your-
No,
Yeah,
those are my tears. I'm a
Tears.
human, so it's normal.
Yeah, I think you might want to wipe them off
I
with
keep them
that
alive.
hand specifically.
I don't put in makeup to hide myself or
Wow,
clean my
don't
ears
do
to clean my.
I hope
not
this
show my-
burns. I hope this burns.
Cool. Like the way your heart is burning now
Yeah.
with
The
my
way
words.
the world is burning right now.
Yeah, that is indeed. Cool. Let's do it.
I'm ready.
This chili holds our fate.
Holds our fate. Holds your fate. But I think
Our
we're both gonna win this. You know what? Let's be fair.
Cool. Then let's do
Done.
it.
Okay.
Half and
I'm
half.
ready.
I'm already ready. Halfway there. You better read over your bar.
They're really nice. What have I been saying? The last bit.
She gulped too fast.
I enjoy it. I'm relishing it.
Yeah,
I'm
but you
eating
gulp
it.
it
What do you
too
mean I gulp
fast.
it too fast?
मुझे लगता है मैं ASMR के चक्कर में फंस जाता हूँ. साउंड वाउंड निकालने के चक्कर में समय लग जाता है.
That's your problem. मेरे ऊपर क्यों डाल रहे हो?
No worries.
It's like climate change coming on people who didn't contribute to it.
Me.
Not
Cool.
you.
Me.
Okay, let's go. Final round. Then we're allowed to have our oat milk.
Let's go for it. Let's do it. Last bite.
1, 2, 3. Relish it. It's like eating a tomato. Huh? It's just a tomato with a little bit of Tabasco. That's how I feel about it. Easy. Done. We did
did
it. I'm not gonna reach it. This is global climate goals. That's
For
just
that, yes.
Oh,
I'll
you
do
did it. For that you reached
For that,
out.
I'll do it.
Okay, we're allowed to have our oat milk now.
Cool if you want to have it.
Oh, that's the game we're playing right now. Okay, then we're not gonna have it.
After so much of chili, let me bring some sweetness. Okay, so what happened is I realized I do not go along with the religion because I don't follow it. It's an amazing thing. I don't follow it. Caste, it divides. And being a traveler who's going places to places, I don't align with it as well. No, I think that's fun. And now when I'm talking, it's
Just have
more
it.
spicier.
Have it.
Not me.
Yeah.
I won't.
Yeah.
That's
Take it.
your. I have it if I want it. Caste divides. And I'm traveling to places, people divide. Then what happened? Caste, religion, father, he was not there. I thought, okay, I don't want to carry these things. Also, your name is your identity.
I'm
Now when
winning. I'm winning this.
No, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I think because I'm talking, I'm feeling it furthermore.
Milk is yours.
I don't want to have it.
It's kept there for you.
Good. You can have it. See, they gave me lesser milk than you.
Why is he not accepting defeat, guys? Why am I not winning this?
I won't.
Okay, so explain your last name.
So then I realized that caste, religion, father doesn't go along. Then what should be my name? A name is an identity. What's my identity? For a second I thought traveler. But Aakash traveler, Aakash Yatri would be such a foolish name.
Aakash Yatri.
Yeah. And then I'm like, in the future, I'm going to change. This is my present, not my whole life. That's a moment in life. So, what's my real identity? I'm cycling, enjoying the wind. God, that feels amazing. I'm cycling. It's one way, like one road. Chennai, Bangalore. My hands are like this. Cycle is pretty much on good speed. I'm going straight. Trees, farms. This can't be my name. That's not my life. That's not my overall reality. It's just a moment I'm living. So I'm like, thank you for the lunch, by the way. So I'm like, what's my real identity? Who am I? Like this, cycling, eyes were open at that point of time. Now I'm closing. That time I would die. And I sort of looked back into my life. Who am I? You know, like how in the movie, when we start and we rewind, cut, and we see certain frames. I saw frames of people calling me or identifying me. My father's name was Ravi. Nobody ever called me, अरे वो रवि का बेटा है, अरे वो रवि जी का बेटा है. No, never happened. Feels so odd to say this. Never happened. Nobody really ever said, वो मिश्रा जी का बेटा आया नहीं, मिश्रा जी का बेटा का है. Nobody ever said this. Obviously, my mom's name was changed after she got married. So her surname was also Mishra. Mishra was never used for me as well. Ever. But then, always, and mostly just ladies, women, called me, अरे वो रानी का बेटा कहाँ है? रानी का बेटा खाता नहीं है यार. रानी का बेटा बहुत शर्मीला है. रानी का बेटा बोलता नहीं है. रानी का बेटा. So I was like, okay, cool. That's who I am. That's how people address me. That's my identity. That's how people point finger at me that, okay, this guy is that guy. Rani ka beta. I was like, cool, that's me. That's my identity. So I was like, ये मेरा नाम होना चाहिए, आकाश रानी का बेटा. बना. Like, that's so weird. That can't be my name. Then people be like, again, उनको समझ आ गया. So it's like, मैं सिर्फ आकाश भी रख सकता था, second name ना रखे. But then I'm like, if I'll just tell them my name is Aakash, they'll be like, okay, तुम्हारे पापा का surname क्या था? वो वहाँ से पूछ के फिर connect कर देंगे. I'm like, until I give them something, they'll keep asking. So I have to have something else. That's when I changed like traveler या यात्री. Well, I'm like, no, that's foolish. Let's more meaningful. My identity, आकाश रानी का बेटा. I'm like, still, अब मेरे बोला आकाश रानी का बेटा ना, तो बोलेंगे ये तो तुम्हारी मम्मी का नाम है. पापा का सरनेम क्या था? तो फिर वो ढूंढ के ले आएंगे. या फिर मुझसे पूछेंगे नहीं सरनेम बताओ. So I'm like, let me do something. Also, I love Piyush Pandey, the work he does, Ogilvy methods. I'm like, branding, right? I love marketing, branding. I love that area of life, communication. I'm like, how should I brand myself? Who am I? I'm like, cool. थोड़ा time लगा. Before I reached Bangalore, I had a word in my mind, Ranison. English में Rani's son. Aakash Rani's son. And while I reached Bangalore, I shared it with one of my friend over there, Rishabh Sood. अब तो हमारी बात नहीं होती काफ़ी समय से. अच्छा दोस्त है, कभी कुछ गलत नहीं हो, बट जस्ट डिस्टेंस आ गया. मैं अपने काम में लग गया, अपने काम में लग गया. I told him, he also aligned with it. He said, yeah, it's a very nice name. Then that year only, in 2015, I changed my name on all of the documents with Aakash Ranison. So Aakash, Rani's son.
A lot of boys are called Raja Beta. Your
Yeah.
Rani's Beta.
Yeah. हमारे पिताजी राजा थे नहीं, तो राजा बेटा बोला नहीं गया, हम रानी के ही बेटे थे, right? और a lot of friends just like to call me Rani son. Nobody really call me, like hardly people call me, like who are my friends, they don't call me Aakash. They call me, some call me Rani, some call me Rani's son. That's it.
You've been quite a princess.
I am a princess.
You are a
Yeah.
princess.
I usually don't like driving car. I'm just gonna sit here. Can you drive? Whosoever it is. Even like a lot of my female friends, they drive. I'm like, I don't want to do this.
How much has your mother shaped who you are today? How much has she shaped your journey?
A lot. And I think not only my mom obviously has played one of the most crucial, important role, but I think women's. I really feel it's a world of women, and we men just live in it. We have been
Why
allowed.
do you say that?
They brought us in the world. Where do we come from? They decided, let's do this guy. Right? Let's give this kid a chance to exist in the world. if a man wants, just can't do it on its own. Even if all the men die, a woman can still come up with one more kid. We would have sperm somewhere stored. We can use it and we can have a kid. But a man is there. You can't store a woman in a laboratory to get another kid. I think like, yeah, you can now. You can just articulate it somehow.
But what has she done to shape?
To me, my mom, what has she done? She fought through everything. She always wanted to send me to an English medium school because she thought there's better education over there. So whatever she thought that, okay, this is the best thing, or this is the best I can fight and get there to afford it for him, she always did it, right? If I was not there, the life would have been far more easier for her. As of now, she had to carry me everywhere, take care of me all the time, make money not just for herself, for me. If I was not there, she would be far more freer, could have done something else with her life, right? She fought with so many people, unknown, known, strangers, and family, everyone. Yeah, she did a lot of things. Got me Imartis. I was to love Imarti.
Imartis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
You could use one right now.
I don't use one now. I'm filled with joy in my heart. So I don't think Imarti can do anything, change anything. And yeah, so she's done a lot of things. And again, my nani has done so much for me. My choti mosi, my badi mosi has done so much for me. I've grown between these women's. And still today, my life is surrounded by women everywhere. You are sitting right in front of me. Most of my friends are women.
Do you see that respect translate from the respect for your mother and respect for Mother Nature? Do you see?
I think I do not have
Mother Nature
no.
as
I
a
don't.
feminine
I don't really.
source of energy?
No, I don't really have a direct connection in between. And I don't really try to manipulate things and make stories just to sell my story bigger and try to get brownie points for it.
No,
that okay.
I'm talking about from
Yeah.
just a feminine point of
No.
view, because feminine energy is definitely more connected to nature. It's definitely a connection between climate change and patriarchy.
Yes, that's for sure. But again, I don't really feel that okay, because I've lived with my mom and all of my like women guardians, because of them I have something for nature. They have made me the person I am, and out of this person this has come. So obviously the values are given by them, but I don't want to make a sobbing story. Like I never sell my story to people that okay, I'm a single parent child, or I did not have money and I grew, so give me extra brownie points. I don't want those brownie points. Just look at my work. If you think the work is good, then let's go ahead. Otherwise, if you don't see it good, just let it be.
If you were to be known for something, what would you want to be known for?
Happy. This guy was happy.
Happy.
Yeah.
Your book is called I'm a Climate Optimist. Given the current scenario, why do you still consider yourself an optimist? What gives you hope? What gives you optimism?
I don't need practical, logical reason to be happy personally. I just believe in optimism blindly, and that's how my world. That's how my world runs.
That's what gives you climate optimism?
Climate optimism. What gives me my effort and others' effort. There are people who are putting effort. So rather than in the dark energy, I can put in my focus and believe in the positive energy. There are people who are doing good works, right? So I believe that eventually they will win, right? When I came in, I never ate so much chili like ever in life, right? But then I knew just I'm gonna win. That's in my mind.
That you're gonna win.
Yeah.
I thought we just agreed it was a fair.
We both won, right?
Yeah.
But then there's no thought in my mind that I'm gonna lose, right? The only focus is on one thing. That's what Bhagat Singh had. I'm just gonna win. I'm just gonna get it. That's what जो महाभारत की भी कहानी होती है, 5 भाई होते हैं, तो उसमें ये होता है ना कि पहले भाई को पूरा संसार दिखाई देता है, दूसरे भाई को चिड़िया, पेड़, आसमान दिखाई देता है, तीसरे भाई को पेड़ और चिड़िया दिखाई देती है, चौथे को चिड़िया दिखाई देती है, पांचवें को सिर्फ आंख दिखाई देती है. So you don't see anything else.
Your source of optimism is what other people are doing. Your efforts, everyone else's efforts, people working towards solution. What is the definition of sustainability for you?
There can't be any. Okay, I can put it in this way, that a balanced life, consuming what is genuinely required, and your consumption should not cause any harm to anyone.
Is there anything you want anyone to take away from your story, from your journey so far?
I'm not preaching anything. If you heard whatever you heard, if you like it, follow it. If you don't follow it, or if you don't want to follow it, cool, chill, be happy. Tomorrow if I meet you and if you eat something, I won't bite you.
You won't bite them?
Yeah.
You bite the chili?
Yeah. So just chill. See, whatever I've said in this is not to really about preach, about push people, is to share with you, right? I don't want to push you to change yourself. I don't want to push you to be good or kind or be the kind the way I feel is the right kind. You can be still kind the way you feel is the kind right for you, or yeah, do whatever you feel like. If you really can look yourself in the mirror and feel that whatever I'm doing, I accept it, I'm okay with it. Who am I to judge you? If there's something wrong, we have our own laws and system that'll.
But how can we support you? How can somebody support you? How can we find the work that you do? How can someone reach out to you?
Reach out is very simple. Finding me is very simple. My name is unique in the world. I'm the only guy with this name right anywhere. Whatever website.com/aakashranison.com. If I'm on the website, that's my profile, guys. You have me on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter. Wherever you are, or you need my email address, that's also aakashranison@gmail. Wherever you go,
Good.
it's
Spam,
easy.
spam,
right?
guys, spam it.
Yeah, cool, do it. I really judge people with their emails. I love writing emails. So yeah, but that's how you find me. And though I'm most active on Instagram, that's it. Then how do you support me? Be happy, call me for eating good food. That's what you can do to support me. Or if in case you have a good idea, reach out to me, share your ideas with me. We might work together, right? And then push me to do good things. If you see me doing wrong things, point a finger at me, tell me where I'm wrong, criticize me. That is something how really you can grow me. Find my mistakes, tell me, read my book. If you not to read the book, that's not the reason I'm asking you. Read it, find mistakes, give me a PDF list of everything I made mistakes, so I can in the next one correct it. That's how you can support me. Yeah,
coming in your inbox tomorrow.
yeah,
once I finish
cool,
the copy.
cool. Yeah, totally. I look forward to that's how you can grow me.
I like that, which is why when you said the first conversation was why you disliked me, it came from a very constructive feedback point of view, which is what I really appreciated. But thank you so much for being on this show, Aakash. Thank you for agreeing to do the chili eating competition with me. Thank you for all the tears, all the laughter, the music in between, all of it. Thank you, and thank you for the work that you do as well.
Pleasure
Thank
being
you.
here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Thank you.